Welcome back to part 4 of this series, timing chain replacement cover. So we left off, we removed the timing chain cover, so now we're going to go ahead and start removing some components. Before you even remove any of these parts up here, we're going to start from the bottom. Well, you can start anywhere you want, but I find it more easier just starting from the bottom. Just because the first thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and put back the crankshaft pulley, tying it down a bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and hold the crankshaft pulley with a universal pulley holder, and then I'm gonna loosen this bad boy first. Okay, so let's go and do that real quick. Let me see. Alright, or if you have the luxury of an impact gun, you could definitely go ahead and zip this bad boy up, but in this case I want to show you how you guys do this if you're at home with just general parts. So first thing first, don't forget to put the seal in first, like so. Just be gentle with it. And then we're going to go ahead and put the crankshaft pulley there. Let's see. Just gingerly go ahead and be careful because you have these AC condenser lines. Just take your time when you put this. Alright guys, I was able to pry these holes a little bit up towards me and push this bad boy in there. So now is basically where I want it to be. Now I'm just gonna temporarily tie this crankshaft bolt back like so. Let's see if I get my impact gun. There we go. Let me go ahead and put this bad boy. Just gotta go ahead and tie it like so. And then I'm gonna come back here where I have my universal pulley holder. And guys, invest in one of these bad boys. It'll set you back about 60-65 bucks, but I'm telling you, it'll make your work much easier. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here like so. I'm gonna hold it like that, and then I'm gonna use a small little this is a 10mm bolt that I'm gonna loosen, and I put the torque specs here on what the service manual says. You gotta tighten that out. So let me go ahead and make sure I get this. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna hold this. Alright guys, I put you guys on a tripod. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit on what I'm gonna do. Again, I'm just gonna hold the crankshaft pulley holder. If I can get this bad boy. Here like so. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove this bad boy. Again, I'm holding this with my hand. You can't see it, but I mean, I could just remove this, and again, it's just gonna go ahead and loosen it. Ah, man, it's pretty stuck in there. If that happens to you, don't worry about it. Use a little cheater bar. Put this bad boy in here, like so. Got some more leverage. See if I can show you guys. Alright guys, this bad boy's pretty tight, so I'm gonna show you with this extra leverage here. Let's try one more time. There we go, guys. Oh man. Woo. All right. Okay, guys. So now that we have that bad boy free, we're gonna go to the next step. All right, guys. So now that we loosened this bad boy here, we're gonna go to remove that pulley again. Let me do that real quick on the camera. And again, just slowly take this out, and don't forget the washer in the back. It's probably going to come down with it. So let me go ahead and do this with two hands real quick. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the washer fell off again. Let's see if I can get that. So just don't let this happen to you. There we go. Put that away. Alright, so the next step, we're going to go ahead and, according to the service manual, the way you remove this tensioner, you don't have to push this. Let me see if I can show you guys. You have to push this guide rail inwards, and that would definitely, you'll put like a little pin here to compress it. But I did notice that this tensioner, it's the corporate was making, it wasn't stiff enough, so it's not allowing me to compress it in. But don't worry about it, guys. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and remove it. This is a 10 millimeter 2 bolts, one here and one there. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen them up first. Make sure you use a 6-point socket. Don't use those 12 points, because if it doesn't grab into it, it can strip that bolt. So I'm going to take this off. And again, remember, take your time doing this. We're just going to loosen it up like so. And I'm going to put the torque specs here in the camera. What it should be torqued according to the service manual. Do the same thing on the bottom one. Just loosen it up. There we go. Alright, now that we loosen that up, I'm gonna get my long 1/4 drive. Just ratchet this bad boy out. Oops. Sorry guys, slippery hands. I'm gonna get the bottom as well. Alright guys, so I got the bottom bolt. They're pretty long, so just take your time removing them, and please don't lose these, because if you lose them, you will be screwed. So that's the bottom one. Now I'm just taking the top one. Take your time doing this. Alright, here we go. Here is the top one. And they are the same size, guys, so you don't have to worry about which one's which. But I like to keep mine in order. See, the same size. Alright, and now that that's off, we're just going to go ahead and pry it out like so. And this is the tensioner. And again, I was saying that you have to compress this but what mine wasn't compressing because this wasn't going inside. So you compress it, and then you put the little pin. Maybe I could show you guys. This is what that looks like. You would compress this, and then you put like a little pin here. You can use any type of pin or a small little paper clip. So this will be compressed, and then you just put that in there. So this is what mine wasn't going in. I guess this is, if I push this like so, see how that little clip, it's not allowing me to put this inwards. So, but yeah, make sure that you know what I like to do, I just kind of like to put this here that way as a guide. So next step, make sure guys, you guys take the time to clean the mating surface where we took out the tensioner, right here specifically. And that's going to allow us to start removing the chain itself. So pay specific attention guys when you guys start removing the sprockets. Make sure that you are aware of what goes what. So in this case, since we already have that loose, we're just going to go ahead and remove the chain. Here, next step, let me go ahead and just, this is a guide. All you do is just take it out, just push it out with your hands, and it should come out. It just slides. This top part slides in here, right there. And when you remove it, just work your way up like so, and work your way here. So let's go ahead and put this in here for now. The top, put this guide there. And then this, we're gonna go ahead and remove this. I believe this is 8mm bolts. Let me confirm. Yep, 8mm bolts. So let's go ahead and remove that. Alright guys, so these are 8mm bolts. I'm gonna put the torque specs up here for according to service manual. So we have two, one there and one there at the bottom as well. Alright, so let's go and remove these bad boys. They're pretty hard in there, so make sure you have a nice long ratchet driver. And this is a 1/4 ratchet driver, giving me that extra leverage I need. That way I don't hit my knuckles. Let me get this bad boy. Alright. We're almost there guys, almost there. Just take your time doing this, just because this is what the more time consuming parts are when you do this job. But I'm telling you, it's a challenge, but once you do these a couple times, you kind of get the hang of them. Alright, so this is the top one. Let's see if I could maneuver the bottom one like so. Alright. And the bolts are the same, so you don't have to worry about messing them up. As you guys can see, same length on the bolts. But what I like to do, I kind of just like to make sure I leave it on the original one, because right now we're going to compare it with the other one. And again, this was removed like this. Just don't forget the configuration, how everything was coming up. I kind of have a tendency to visually leave them like that, like so. Alright, so we're going to go at the bottom. We're going to continue the process. So now that I broke this bad boy loose, that's good. And then I'm going to get this one. Let's see. Alright. So this other bolt, this is also a 8mm bolt. So let me go remove that. Put this bad boy back in here. And I also put the torque specs of what this is to be right here. This is pretty stuck, so take your time, guys. Take your time doing this. Ah, there we go. And again, don't forget to don't lose this bolt, because these tend to fall off and get lost a lot. So apparently bolts walk out. And this is what the bolt looks like. And then there's a little, I don't know if you guys can see this little clip here. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that when you put everything back, you put this clip underneath here and just put it in place. Okay. And again, I'm just putting everything as I'm taking it off. Give me a visual aid there. Alright, and now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this bolt. Looks like this. Now this sprocket, it is configured. Right now when I pull it out, it's configured to like a kind of like a little key in the back. I'll show you. But what I wanted to point out, guys, is that when you start removing the sprocket, make sure you pay attention where everything comes and goes. So in this case, we're going to go to remove this sprocket and this one at the same time. Okay, you see this little key there? The back of this has it, and I'll show you right now when we remove this. And just be mindful, there will be some washers that we're gonna make sure you don't lose. See, there's this washer right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but let's see if I could show you guys. See, that's the washer. Make sure you guys replace this. Do not reuse them. If in case you're doing keep in mind you're doing this whole job, make sure you replace these bad boys. Do not reuse them. If this is a good time to inspect them too if they're damaged. But if you're on a tight budget, clean these out and you can reuse them, but according to service manual, it's not recommended to do so. Just want to point that out, guys. But just make sure that, oh, this is the little key that I was talking about that fits there. But just make sure, guys, when you install everything back, the flat part, once you put the seal gasket, the flat part is going to go first, and then the rest. Alright, what I like to do, let me clean this area up really good. Make sure, again, guys, take the time to clean your work. And remember that special tool I was talking about? I don't know if you guys can see that special tool, but let me see if I could give you guys some lighting. See how that special tool right there, it's basically stopping the crankshaft, and that's what see, if you turn it, it's going to be stopping right there. So that's important tool to use. Alright, so again, just take the time, guys, to clean this area out really good and clean. I'm gonna get a razor blade and make sure I clean all this. This is old gasket, RTV gasket, that needs to be removed. As you can see, it's all around here, so I really have to make sure I get that out. So when we put the new timing belt, the timing belt cover, we're going to make sure that everything's nice and removed. So make sure you have a good, let me see if I have one here. Alright, I think I found a winner. So again, I'm going to take my time and make sure that I clean all this really good, so that way the new gasket could sit properly and we don't have to worry about. Alright, guys, so just like any other project that you do, make sure that you always compare the parts that we're replacing with the old parts. In this case, this bad boy, make sure it's the same exact length, same exact shape. Just double check, make sure everything's on par. This one looks great, perfect. Get this other one out. Alright, everything looks good. Let's just make sure everything's properly the same length again. Take the time, guys, because we don't want anything to happen if we put the wrong parts. So everything looks good. Even with the new tensioner, make sure the new tensioner is the same. Take the time to compare it, see what it looks like. Same size, same length. And also the sprockets, make sure, I think, take this one off. For these ones, you definitely want to make sure you count the teeth. And remember, this was facing towards me, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure this is the flush part, so this is gonna go first, and then Make sure you get the other parts and confirm everything's same. This looks perfect. Alright, also we forgot that this one has a this one doesn't have a bottom here, guide pin. See this one? I think this one doesn't have one at all. Alright guys, make sure you also compare the chain itself. So this is the original one, and grab the new timing chain. Make sure they're the same length. Everything looks good, like so. Compare this to every single part, even the sprockets. Make sure you also inspect them. Everything's good. Count the teeth, so that way you kind of know where everything's going to go. So, all right, guys. So next step, we're going to go ahead and change out this sprocket here. This is held on by, I believe it's a 21 millimeter bolt. So when we're about to remove this, you could either use a 12-inch crescent wrench, and you're going to go ahead and put the crescent wrench right there, and you're going to use this as a support, and then you're going to ratchet this this bolt. Please don't rely on that tool to hold that rod while you remove this, because this rod is not designed, this tool is not designed to be held in there to remove these bolts. So you're gonna have to either find this method if you have a crescent wrench, or if you have a nice 15, 16 wrench. I believe this is what I used last time I did a job like this. You're gonna go ahead and put it here. You're gonna hold that while we remove that. All right, so let me show you that in action real quick. Let me get the 21. All right, we're gonna use a 21 millimeter. Let me get this bad boy. And I will put the torque specs on this bolt right here. I'll put the torque specs right there. And again, it's very important you use a new bolt and new washer. All right. See if I can get you guys a good angle here to show you guys how this process works. Bear with me. So I'm gonna make sure I hold this there. See if you guys can see that. I'm gonna remove this, and again I'm holding this here with the wrench. I'm gonna go ahead and muscle this bad boy. Okay. See if I can do that real quick. Alright, pretty stuck in there. Let's see if I can change positions. I think that broke it free. Perfect. Yes. Now that I broke that sprocket free, again, just be very, very careful. Let's see if I can get you guys a good angle there. gonna put this in here like so, and there should be a washer underneath in the back. Just be careful not to drop it. There we go. Oh, this one didn't have a washer. The other 2.3 that I changed had a washer. Alright. Just clean this up really good. And again, make sure you guys use a new bolt. And this is where you guys are going to compare the one that came with the kit. Take this one out real quick. Make sure everything lines up. The teeth are also the same as the old one, and I verify everything's good to go except this little piece came with it, but this engine, this 2.0, didn't have that, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. Alright guys, but again, make sure you take this. This kit didn't come with this one, so I'm not going to be changing this at this moment. Okay guys, so we're about to install the sprocket here. I'm just waiting for the new bolt to come, but we're going to install this bad boy. For this 2.0, I realized it didn't have a washer. I'm used to changing these on the 2.3 liter Mazda 3s. They have like a washer. I also noticed some my kit, well this kit specifically didn't come with, this is a variable timing chain engine, so my kit didn't come with this sprocket, so I'm not going to change it out. Everything looks good. I did inspect it, make sure that all the teeth were intact. It's just normal wear and tear. Something interesting though, I just realized something. This kit came with a bottom guide here, but I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my first time doing a 2.0. Normally I work on 2.3 liters, but I didn't see a when I took the valve cover off, I didn't see a bottom guide here. So for this, I just wanted to kind of point that out. If you're doing a 2.0, yours doesn't come with a guide, the bottom one, so I will not be installing this one because it didn't come with it, 2.0. So just want to double check, because I was looking at this part and I was like, wait, normally there's a bottom guide and then a top guide that's gonna hold this chain here, but this one didn't come with this. So just want to point that out, guys. Again, we're gonna get ready to torque this sprocket in. Just waiting for that new bolt. We'll be back, but just want to point that out, guys. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to torque that sprocket there. So again, this one doesn't have a washer, but we're going to make sure that this side goes in first, since you have this lip here, like so. And then we're going to install the new bolt. And again, I'm going to go ahead and hold the wrench there, and we're going to go ahead and torque this bad boy to 55 foot-pounds according to the service manual. And it's going to be a 21 millimeter socket, or you could actually use also a a 13/16 to get this bad boy in there. Bear with me here. Tie this bad boy. Alright, and again I'm just holding this in place, that way it doesn't move. I'm just torquing this bad boy, 55 foot-pounds. There we go. Alright. So now that that's torque, we're going to start installing the rest of the components. Okay guys, so we're going to start installing the bottom as well. I'm going to start from the top to the bottom again. So we're going to go ahead and get our setup. Remember, we're going to get the sprocket, and the one that's flush is going to go inside, and the one that has a little lip is going to come outside like this. So don't forget to install your new seal. So this is going to go first. Be very, very careful, like so. And there's no specific way to install this. Again, you definitely want to just make sure you take your time installing this. Normally what I like to do, let me see if I could, let me put you on my tripod, see if I could show you how to do this. I'm trying to show you with two hands, but just make sure the chain sits properly in the sprockets. Like so. Like this. Make sure it sits nice and snug. Alright guys, so now that we installed that gasket, remember we're going to go ahead and install this, the new sprocket. Make sure that the bottom it's flush. This is going to go inside, and I'm just going to go ahead and maneuver this like so. And just remember that this one has this key shape, so we're going to go ahead and try to see if we could maneuver this so that where that part is. Install this bad boy. Alright. Alright, let's see. Making sure. Oh, there we go. It's nicely in there. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's flush all the way inside. And we're going to go ahead and install this. We're not going to torque it just yet, just because I have to install the crankshaft pulley. And then we're going to do the same thing the same way we removed it. Alright guys, so I'm going to install now the top guide. Basically, don't forget this hook. It's going to go underneath here on this bolt, and then I'm going to maneuver this bad boy in here, and then I'm going to put the bolt here like so, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that there. So let me go ahead and show you guys how to do that real quick. Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to show you this in action. Hopefully you guys could see what I'm doing. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit so I can get my, see if I can get my two hands in there. Get you an idea how to do this. Hopefully you guys saw that, how to do that. And I'm gonna put the Torques right here. What the service manual says to torque that. Okay. Alright guys, so according to the service manual, this is going to be torqued to 8 foot-pounds or 101.7 inch-pound, okay? But this is going to be at 8 foot-pounds. There we go. Alright. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and start installing these guide here. And again, just gonna go ahead and transfer these over like so. And this one's gonna go here like this. So let me go ahead and install that, and then I'll come back. And I put the torque specs right here. Alright guys, so according to the service manual, this also goes torqued to 8 foot-pounds or 101.7 inch pounds. Okay, so make sure you torque these. There we go. We're going to go ahead and install the next guide. And this one, all we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and put it in this place right there. I'm going to leave it completely flush like that. Okay guys, so I ran into a little dilemma here. Just wanted to share with you guys in case you guys run into this. So I was actually torquing these down, but for some reason the bottom wasn't torquing right when it was supposed to, and it was going so much in, and I was like, you know what, let me take it off to see what's going on. So you see how this guide, the one with my kit, has this metal plate there. This side doesn't have it. Now the old one has them both, and what was happening, I was torquing it, and as you can see, I made a little dent because this didn't have this metal piece. So unfortunately, the kit, I guess manufacturer didn't catch that, so I'm gonna have to transfer over this metal piece. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it off, just put it here, put a little chisel, and then just hammer that out. Let me see if I can show you guys that in action. And then I'm gonna transfer this one over to this side. See that? So let me go and do that real quick, see if I can show you guys how to do this. Kind of get an idea. Alright guys, I can't do it with one hand, so let me go and remove this one off. Again, I'm just using a punch and a mallet to get that out real quick. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I give you guys a... Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch this bad boy out, see if it comes about. Alright, it came out. And I'm just going to go ahead and install it on this one. So I'm just going to come here, make sure this has a one-way key. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick that in here. Alright guys, so now that I changed, I swapped over the metal clip here to the new one. Now it's torquing properly. Can you just imagine if I was, if I kept on trying to ratchet that 8 foot-pounds? I would have literally broke this this guide, but you could just hear it now. See, hear that? 8 foot-pounds, and the bottom as well. So again, this is just a lesson learned. Sometimes, you know, these kits are assembled super fast in a factory, and simple things like this, you know, if you're not careful and watch out, make sure that every component is similar to the OEM one. See that? So now it's clicking. That's 8 foot-pounds. Before, I kept on ratcheting it, and you know, 8 foot-pounds is not a lot of force, so I was, you know what, let me take it off, see what's going on. So again, just be mindful if yours didn't come with this, install that, okay? Switch it over, no harm done. This one, you know, you don't really have to bolt anything, just make sure it's there like so. And then, alright guys, so once we torqued this guide here, and we put this guide here just temporarily, this one doesn't really have any bolts, we're just gonna put it in there. The next step, we're gonna go ahead and install the timing chain itself. Now, pretty simple job, guys. All I'm gonna do to show you guys, I'm gonna just pull this guide out a little bit like so, and I'm gonna start from the top here. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna pull this guide like so, and then I'm gonna continue putting it in here. Make sure it's nice and seated as you guys go, and in here, install it inside the guide. In here, we're gonna put all the way down like so, and then we're gonna come down, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's up here. It's gonna go flush on this guide. It's gonna sit here, and then there's gonna this slack. We're gonna go ahead and grab it from the top, and since we had moved this guide, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in place, and that's gonna go ahead and make sure we align that correctly. Again, the slack should be on this side, because the next step, we're gonna go ahead and place the tensioner. It's gonna go right there. But again, make sure that when you do put the chain, there's no slack at all. Everything's nicely seated up there, and then the slack should be here, because when we put that tensioner in place, it's gonna go ahead and tighten this once we pull this pin. Alright, so it is held in by two 10mm bolts, and again, according to the service manual, is torqued at 8 foot-pounds. Alright guys, so I got the first bolt. I recommend you start from the top bolt, and then I got the second bolt here. I'm just gonna go ahead and maneuver this one like so. As you can see, now that we have that tensioner on the top bolt, I'm gonna go ahead and move this and put the next bolt underneath there. And again, we're not gonna take the little pin until we actually torque these two bolts. So let me go and do that real quick. Alright guys, so now that we have these two 10mm properly torqued, you want to make sure you double check, make sure everything's nice and tight. Alright, you want to double check the teeth and the timing chain is sitting properly. It's guided in like so. The next step and last step, we'll make sure that the guide rail is underneath it. We're going to go ahead and remove the pin, and then you're going to see this slack right here. Once we pull that pin, the slack should be gone. Alright, so let's go do that real quick. Alright, so we pull the pin like so, and now as you can see, everything's nice and tight like so. And that is how you guys install and replace the timing chain on this 2009 Mazda 3. So the next step, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start putting everything back to normal. Make sure you take the time and make sure you clean you know, the mating surface. Make sure everything's nice and even as well. Make sure these teeth are also on this side. And again, this vehicle didn't come, this 2.0 didn't have this guide, which I'm surprised, but as you can see, it's nice and tight. And so make sure this one's also torqued to the specific torque that I made. Alright guys, so next we're going to go ahead and torque this one. This is going to be torqued at 22 foot-pounds. So we need to install that crankshaft pulley again. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the universal pulley holder on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and torque that. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and use this pulley holder so I can hold on to the pulley itself. Wow. See if I can show you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and ratchet this, and we're going to torque it to 22 foot-pounds. See if I can do this with two hands, guys. Bear with me. There we go. Bear with me here. Alright, that should be good. 22 foot-pounds. Ooh. Alright, so once we have that nice and torqued, I'm going to remove the crankshaft pulley. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting everything back together. We're going to put the timing cover off, so make sure when you take this off you don't lose that that washer from the back. So let me go remove that real quick. Alright guys, so once you remove that pulley and once you torque this to 22 foot-pounds, make sure the washer, you remove it as well. Okay guys, so next step, we're gonna go ahead and start putting everything back now that we have everything installed on that timing chain. Now, do take some time, guys, to prep your work. I did notice that the seal on the timing chain was leaking a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and take that off, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean this bad boy up really good so it can look nice and shiny and so forth. I'm gonna go ahead and just spray this down with some degreaser. You can use whatever you have, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I clean this really good and spotless. And I'm gonna remove this seal. Now you can use a 36mm socket. Basically, the way I'm gonna remove it, I'm just gonna go put the socket here, and it fits nice and flush and snug. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that with the hammer. But just be careful, make sure you support this from this side if you're going to do that method, or you could use a seal puller, whatever you have with you. So let me go ahead and clean this up, and then we'll come back.